Welcome back, trainers. So we have a new goal for the Adventure Sync. Previously, the maximum that you could have gotten through that is going to be 50 kilometers, in which you would have received a 10-kilometer egg if you did have space. And honestly, I think the best thing that you could possibly hatch out of that is going to be a Riolu or maybe a shiny Larvitar or shiny Dratini. Really depends if you were around for those community days. Personally, hatching those Riolus is going to be the best option now. But we now have a new tier, that's right, 100 kilometers. So personally for me, I didn't really reach much this week. I got to 33. Didn't really get out there and grind. The weather has been kind of bad and cold, so I really haven't been walking around. Even if it was nice, I really haven't been walking around too much. I should probably start doing that more often, in which I did receive plenty of Pokeballs. Really enjoy that, but let's go ahead and go over this. So the 100-kilometer distance, pretty insane. I've only achieved this once, and that was going to be while I was in Chicago for GoFest. Literally walking every single day. I reached like something around 109 kilometers, and that was absurd crazy. My feet were killing me, and I was putting in a lot of work. So as you can see, the reward is going to be 16,000 Stardust and 24,000 Stardust with a star piece on. If you're thinking to yourself, well, 100 kilometers for just that little Stardust, personally, I mean, that's pretty neat, I guess. It's really up to you and how you look at it. It really matters on what's going to be coming out of that 10-kilometer egg if we were to receive that. Now, credit to this trainer here. They did claim their reward, and they did receive that Stardust. They didn't have space for an egg, and that's why you did not see an egg appearing there. And there is the trainer there. So, very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at those rewards again. So they got some Pineapps, Ultra Balls, 5 candies, 20 Pokeballs, and then that Stardust there without the start piece on. Remember to always have that start piece on when you're going to be claiming these rewards so you can maximize that Stardust income. Now let's talk about, is it worth it? Of course, this is good news, promoting healthier habits, walking more, and all that stuff, but it might just push people to the limit. Who knows, push them into territory they shouldn't be in. I don't know where you live, but I'm pretty safe walking anywhere here basically, but it's a nice option. Fantastic. I love it. I will try to hit that goal. It's pretty insane. I'm going to have to do a lot of walking and might even have to cut down some of my editing time as well as specific grind times. So coming out of the 5-kilometer eggs from the 25-kilometer tier mark, we have Krogunk, Buizel, Bronzor, Combee, Snover, and Finneon. I mean, the only shiny that could be in there is going to be Bronzor. I guess if you can hatch 100 one of these, the Snover is not really something I would want to get out of there. I probably would want the Combee, seeing that those are pretty rare to even get in the first place. Hopefully a female at that. And then for the 50-kilometer tier mark, Bagon, which can be shiny, Beldum, shiny, Larvitar, shiny, Shinx, shiny, and Dratini, shiny. And then you have Riolu, which we've been over. So is it going to get a community day? Probably not. It's going to probably more be a hatchathon of some sort in which you could possibly hatch that shiny Riolu, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. But currently there is none, and if I was to hatch any of these out of the 50 tier mark reward for the 10-kilometer egg, I would want to get Riolu. And honestly, most of the time when I do reach it and get the egg and have space, and once I do hatch it, it's usually Riolu, which I can't complain. We're going to be going over the Pokemon that I think the 100-kilometer egg may just reward, possibly just, you know, who knows, higher shiny chance, higher 100% IV chance, you know, the limits, who knows. I have to go through more data once people start hatching them. So as you can see here for the 25-kilometer tier mark, all of the hatches that I have done here, and they've collected their data. So which ones are going to be hatching more? Looks like Snover, unfortunately, is going to be coming out of that 5-kilometer egg. And then for the 50-kilometer tier mark, what's going to be hatching more from their data here? It looks like Riolu. And I cannot agree more, because personally I've hatched a ton of those, and that seems pretty on point. In that second place, looks like we're going to be hatching Larvitars a little bit more, or at least from the data here. And in third place, it's going to be Dratini, and then in fourth place, it's going to be a tie between Bagon and Beldum, and then finally Shinx last with 58. So I do not want to hatch a Shinx unless it's shiny, and I honestly do not want to hatch a Bagon, Beldum, or Dratini, even if they're shiny. Personally, I'd rather just hopefully get a Riolu out of that. Even a Larvitar, I don't need any of those because I was around for those community days. Now, a little perk, which would be nice, this is not going to happen, this is just a little thought. If you did hatch them out of these eggs, it'd be cool if you can actually evolve them to receive the community day move. Wouldn't that be a nice little perk? All right, now let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on what the 100 kilometer, 10 kilometer egg would possibly reward you with. Now, I do have a ton of Gibbles already. I hatch these all the time. My shiny luck may have taken a turn for the worst in the past few months, but at least I still hatch decent Pokemon. I mean, I literally hatched Dino on day 1. Are you kidding me? That was absolutely fantastic. I was so happy. I was soap happy, right? Okay, so what am I going to do with these? Right now, I'm just going to currently sit on them. There's really nothing I really need to do because it is going to possibly get a community day in the future. I have one Garchomp already, which was lucky, evolved it all the way up there. So would this be worth it once you got to 100 kilometers, had space for an egg, got the 10 kilometer, if that's what's going to be rewarding, which I'm going to assume, all right, because there is no eggs beyond 10 kilometers unless they decide to make one for this new tier, which I highly doubt because it hasn't been reported. But this is just food for thought. Keep that in mind if you do hatch one of these. Maybe hold on to it. Who knows when we're going to actually get the community day for Gibble. But, you know, Garchomp as it is right now with Earthquake and Outrage is a pretty fun Pokemon, and it works fantastic with that extra resistance to Electric. Now, taking a look at Riolus here, I do hatch these yet again all the time. A few of them have come from the 50 kilometer eggs, and obviously from the 10 kilometer eggs that I just get from the Pokestops. So I do have a few Luckies here, as well as a horrible IV one that I'm waiting for. I was going to say it's community day, but I don't think it's going to get one. There it is right there. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, what's so special about that horrible IV Riolu? Well, if I evolve it, it will be in the Great League. And if it does receive some sort of kind of event in which you are going to have to evolve it to receive some sort of special move, much like Breloom did, then that's when it's going to be shining. I can simply purchase that secondary move on it, like I'm going to do here in just a moment. And then once the day does come around, I'll evolve it. It'll receive that special move. And I have it in the Great League ready to go, instead of kind of frantically running around asking people to trade, and then the trades don't become the IVs that I want. They're still too big for the Great League, so I'm all set there. So that is something else to consider for Riolu, possibly an evolution new move in the future. Do I think that's the best route to go to make it? I don't think so. It would be nice and exclusive, but there's going to be a lot of people out there like, well, I don't have a Riolu. I didn't have one for that specific time frame, and now I do not have that special move on it. So more than likely, it's going to be something that's going to just be able to be TM'd, right? Going to cost you about 10 TMs to get the move. All right, moving on to another Pokemon that I think that might be coming out of that 100 kilometer, 10 kilometer egg is Litwick. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, Litwick is not rare anymore. I don't really want to get it out of that egg. Well, come on now. Once this Halloween event is passed and several months go down, this thing is going to be somewhat rare again. Take advantage of the situation for this Halloween event, in which they will be spawning out there. You know, somewhat. They're not like in abundance, but they're definitely out there. You can get quite a few if you're out on the grind pretty good. And hold on to that candy. Transfer the horrible one so you can get yourself more candies with this double candy event currently on. Is it going to be something you want to completely max out and get through that egg there? Well, if you get a good IV one, absolutely. Chandelure is fantastic. There will be other ghost types outpacing it, like specifically Gengar, Legacy, Shadow Claw, and Lick. But those are Legacy and hard to get your hands on. So Litwick is another fantastic Pokemon to possibly get out of those 100 kilometer, 10 kilometer eggs. Next up, we have Dino. Wow, oh wow. This is the rarest of the rare for sure. For the Halloween event, there are literally none. I found one, but I'm pretty sure it's not a part of the event, and it just spawned randomly in the wild. And this is the one that I caught last. I did put in those rare candies and powered it up for the Great League, just like that. I'm not going to get a secondary move right now. A little bit expensive. I don't feel like putting another 75 rare candies into it, plus 75,000 Stardust. I already made another one here, purchased a secondary move. I'm good for now, making a lot of investment in these Dino candies currently at the moment. And watch we get some sort of event in the future. Obviously we will, but Gibble, everybody still needs Gibble even, so getting a little ahead of ourselves. This is the rarest of the rare. Gibble's there too. Riolu is somewhat rare. Litwick is rare after the event. and it's nice to get them right now. The only problem with Litwick is you need the Unova Stone to evolve it into Chandelure. So, Colossal Pass, guaranteed. Ooh, pay to win. That's if you're gonna say Colossal Pass is pay to win, that is literally the only thing you have to say about it is you're gonna get pay to win Unova Stone, pretty much. I mean, otherwise it's just gonna be a fun event. Maybe those perks in between each task are going to be fantastic, which will give you a little bit of a boost. Now, another one potentially that can come out of these 100-kilometer eggs are going to be Golett. Right now, this thing is okay. I mean, it's a ghost and ground type. Actually performs pretty nicely when you evolve it. I have done a few of those tasks in which you have to get 3 excellent throws in a row. Anytime I find one, I hold on to it, complete it, no problem. Usually just want to go for those Pokemon that have bigger circles, and you should be able to knock those out. But otherwise, this is going to be a pretty rare Pokemon too. As you can see, I don't even have 50 candies. I can't even evolve it yet. Easy if I wanted to put rare candies into it, but I'm not going to do that because there's no immediate rush. I do have a great PvP Great League one, and I do have several others to trade for, possibly a mirror trade for a Lucky. So we'll hold on to those, possibly potential for some sort of cup in the future. But as of now, no immediate rush. So this is another potential that could be hatching out of those eggs there, guys. So make sure you get out there and start walking, because 100 kilometers is no joke. Are you going to be able to achieve this in a car? Good luck. You're going to be spending a ton of gas. I don't think I've ever come close driving around getting that because of the registration and the speed in which you're going to have to be traveling. So please tell me down below what you do currently think about this new 100-kilometer reward. Is it awesome? Is it pushing it a little bit much? Because not all of us can, get to that 100-kilometer mark. But come on now. At the end of the day, you can't go around to places and say, you can't sell that because I can't afford it. Or you can't do that because I cannot, reach this goal, or whatever the case may be. That's just the way life goes. Personally, for me, I live in Alaska. We haven't gotten any snow yet, but it's going to be here soon enough, and it's going to make it even harder to reach 100 kilometers. So not everybody can get this, and I understand if you're thinking to yourself, well, what about the spoofers? Well, personally, I don't, they do whatever they want to do, okay? And will they be able to reach this? Yes, unfortunately. Could this be some sort of trap? I don't know. Who knows? Niantic might just be setting them up. But anyways, thank you for watching, traders. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll catch you all next time.